I feel like having the number 58 in goal is kind of cheating, because with the performance they've showed from last year and this year, I think they're more than capable to be a pro class only entry rather than gold. Box.
In this lap. Hello everyone and welcome back to Behind the Pits. My name is Alessandro.
And I'm Matteo.
And today we have some stuff to talk about, since it's been slightly bit of time since the last time we recorded. And it's been, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks. And there is lots of stuff between, of course, Formula One with the usual energy and everything that happens stuff. We had a little a little bit of NASCAR, and in this exact moment, yesterday we had finally the start to the GT World Challenge. While we are recording, we are assisting also to the last hour of the European Le Mans series. And last but not least, also we have, of course, NASCAR V8 Supercars, and the series that I believe is very interesting, which is the GT3 revival. So Matteo, where do you think we should start?
To be honest, I will start with the Paul Ricard 6 hours, because it was a very interesting race. I already told you who is my best and who is my worst pick of the race. So we can start with that, and I start with I don't know. I'm really sorry for the Mamba car. They had a perfect race just to be thrown away by a late safety car in the end of it, and then they lost the lead because tires went off. I think the Mercedes were not that great in the in low temperature scenarios, but if they didn't have the safety car, they had a really good lead over the number 007, and they could have just brought the car home without any problems.
Yeah, I believe that. I have to agree with you. The 48 deserved the win since the start of the race. They had a huge pace. They were the most competitive, not only crew, but also the race pace was incredible. They were the only Mercedes, as you said, that wasn't really affected by the low temperatures, since we saw how the Get Speed and the Verstappen racing cars, when the night came, they dropped down the field. The Aston Martin did a great job. They came up some positions, and then they used the possibility that they got. And what, if I may, I believe that surprised also you, and surprised me too, were the BMW that were not they were anywhere. They went anywhere. Sorry. And the thing is that we are used to BMW being a car built for the straight, raw power. Everywhere there is a straight, whether it is in LMGT3 in Le Mans, whether it is in Spa-Francorchamps or Monza. They are the cars made for the straight. They have a huge power and good drag coefficient. This time they couldn't even overtake Porsches, that are cars that showed how they're good in a driven part, but not in a straight line. So it was a very quite a cold shower for us as spectators, and I believe even more for them as constructors.
Yeah, also because like a few hours earlier, like the BMW dominated at the ring with Marco Wittmann and who else was it driving that car? I forgot. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, it
But
was
yeah,
the Schubert car, the 77.
yeah, but they won at the ring. So, and it was really, really strange because they were noted during, apart from the Rowe car, the 98, both of the cars were not in it in the earlier stages of the race with the sun and the high temperature. Then in an interview, Valentino came and said, "Oh, they hopefully they were going to do better at during the later parts during the night." And actually, it was worse rather than came better.
While the hours came by, the situation got worse. I believe that the BMW, looking at the whole race, I believe that the BMW was the worst car actually on track. Because of what it if we look at what is expected by the car and what it gave, especially, and but in the end, in the total performance of a GT3 car that has maybe is not a sort of a all-around car that is relatively strong in every place, but we know that each car this season has some strong points and weak points, and the BMW felt like it had just weak points. Even Raffaele Marcello couldn't do anything, and it was it was almost a pain to watch such cars and teams have such bad performances.
Yeah, I really hoped. It was mostly a Mercedes and I would say Porsche, but in the end it was also Aston. Only one Aston that made the difference during the race. Every other car it was only nowhere.
Yeah.
Especially the Ferraris.
Yeah, I believe that the Ferraris had the problem, if we can say, of having the Evo pack, since yes, they already had the Bathurst and and some IMS around that gave them some ideas. The same for the Porsche about and for the Temerario on how to use the car, but still they need to find how to move in order to have a good some good results. Still, I believe that we could see some very interesting um, results, because beside the spins, the 50 and the 51, and especially the 71, were very good. Had not only they have a very good crew, but also they could manage it quite well. Quite a lot of pain for the 50 and the 51, since they got caught by other cars in got spun. Because beside that, they had quite a clean race, and it is as well interesting, but also weird how especially the Ferraris came, since I did expect a bit more pace, a bit more possibility to fight for the top 5 or top 7. So yeah, it was slightly unexpected how they came out in the end.
Yeah, and the Italian commentator also said that the Ferrari was always not the strongest at Paul Ricard. So it kind of showed, but yeah, unfortunate with all of the contact, especially the number 50 with the 18 Aston Martin, and also the 71 got a class pole in goal, but it unfortunately couldn't stay relevant with the pace they could have gotten. Okay, so now we can talk about our the good stuff, which is the best teams around the Paul Ricard race yesterday. And I want to say, my god, the 59, what a comeback they had.
Yeah, that Garage 59. I believe they have they're the strongest team that can manage a McLaren racing car, a McLaren GT3 car, and I believe that it was the best choice to move to them for the World Endurance Championship in the GT3 class. And yesterday they showed exactly what they're capable to do, and how good they can be, putting a gold class car in the overall podium. They just they had the race they needed. In the top 10, they had 2 cars in top 5, and overall. So yeah, I believe that. I also believe that the Garage 59 with the 59 car were the best cars, and I also believe I have 2 top teams. I think the other top team is the Lion Speed GP, that beside having that very bad ending with the drive shaft deciding not to work anymore, that I believe that they were another incredibly fast team, and they could have been there with Aston Martin and the Windward Manfilter Mercedes to try to fight and try to get the win. So yeah, they have a huge crew behind their backs, because they had Ricardo Feller, then Bastian Buss, and then Thomas Freining. So they are people that know how to handle a GT3 car quite well.
Yeah, Bastian Buss, really strong relation coming in this year for the team, and it really showed that they made the right choice to pair them with Prenning and the whole Porsche team. So yeah, really bad ending. I forgot. I wanted to say something, but I forgot before I explained another point. But oh yeah, I feel like having the number 58 in goal is kind of cheating, because with the performance they've showed from last year and this year, I think they're more than capable to be a pro class only entry rather than gold. P2 or P1 front row starting for both of the McLaren. So yeah, it's kind of unfair to all of the gold class to have them as a competitor in it. So, and the other point I wanted to give is that I was reflecting this morning on what to say in the podcast, so that making some thoughts, and I was watching TikTok and the Gunon 4 wide came into my feed, and I was reflecting.
Yeah.
So the Verstappen car needed Gunon to be sick to be nerfed. so they couldn't win. And in all of that kerfuffle, the only one that got damaged in the end was the number 80 car.
Yeah.
Because I think the airborne got made some damage to the number 3 car, but in the end it felt like with the drive shaft that broke on the number 80, the impact of the number 3 car was so bad that it kind of ricocheted on the 80 from that overtake.
Yeah, and you got me exactly to a point that I wanted to talk about very briefly, which is, yes, that airborne. I mean, it felt like a safer version of what Alonso did, I believe, in 2023 or 2022 in Texas, with the Aston Martin. Still, what Gunon tried was very, very risky, and it was kind of unexpected, because I believed he would try to move on the left and go for the overtake on the outside before Singh. But yeah, he had quite an original approach to the situation, and came up actually in a good place, because at least from that moment he got the position. But then, yes, the Mercedes dropped down, and yeah, it ended how it ended.
Yeah, so a couple of points onto that is that from the onboard camera, it didn't seem that spectacular as it was from the outside, because it was so fast that he the front lifted and came back down, that it didn't seem that he was airborne. And then I've seen a freeze frame on when he was in the air and only one tire was touching the ground.
Yeah.
3 tires lifted.
Because the curbs there are quite aggressive, and they act exactly as a ramp, and you understand why there is the Red Bull logo on that side. It's not because of anything else. It's I actually believe that we will see more of them, because the team is very good, is very able to prepare the car in a competitive way, and the drivers are also extremely competitive. So I believe we will see some other kind of shenanigans from them, and I believe that this was just a bad race because of how the car feels in these kind of conditions, and because of that I also believe that also Spa-Francorchamps will be a difficult race for them, especially in the night part. And beside that, I believe that in other situations, like talking about the endurance championship, like Monza or the Nürburgring, they can do the difference, and they can fight very well for this title. They have everything they need. So yeah, I'm very prepared to see them, and I have to say I'm prepared to see lots of team fighting this year, because also with Lion GP, another Porsche that was racing extremely well was the Butsen VDS. And also, yes, the BMWs still, I believe that they will come back stronger already in Brands Hatch in 3 weeks. So it will be a very interesting fight, both for the overall driver standings, but also for the endurance and the sprint series.
And next endurance race, I believe, even before 24 hours, I'm just gonna check. Yes. It's going to be Monza. So
exactly,
quite a good proving ground for the BMWs. That it's basically only straights at Monza, so
Yeah, and I will tell you, and I'm gonna already tell you, I will be there watching exactly what is happening, to be very precise in the podcast afterwards.
Really good. Can't wait to do
That is what is called dedication.
can't wait to do the after podcast, especially after next week, since you'll be even at Imola for the opening round of WC.
Yeah, then I believe that. Oh yeah, what? Who do you think was your worst car for this 6-hour race?
Oh, for me, the worst car for the 6 hours was definitely the 46.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Strangely
Uh,
enough, as I am a big Valentino fan, but yeah, it was definitely the 46.
yeah, I believe that the last part of the race, like the last 2 hours, where they struggled a lot. I mean, they went strong for the whole weekend, but for the first 3 or 4 hours, they stayed in a competitive situation. But then, when the deep night came and everything, they just dropped down and lost positions. And yeah, coming just 12th with a team with drivers like Max Esse or Dan Harper, it's not exactly what you expect by a team that is with a that is I'm sorry, that is registered with a pro car as a pro entry. So yeah, it will be interesting, I believe.
Yeah, and especially since Valentino is a silver rated driver.
Yeah, is a
Even,
silver rated driver that is drives like a gold driver probably, and
yeah,
still has a very good pace. I believe that it was more than the drivers. The fault was on the car itself. Also because yes, we had teams like Rover Racing that came sixth, or the other WRT car that came fourth, but they were yeah. It was almost a lucky situation on how they ended their race. So the BMW wasn't there at all as a car.
yeah. Also because it was it only two safety cars happened,
Yeah,
which
that's
was
actually
really
impressive.
strange. Which were really strange for GT World Challenge. Only two safety car happened. One at the very start of the race and one at the very end of the race.
Exactly what yeah, I because of how the race started, I believed we were going to see a safety car every 40 minutes or 1 hour, and in the end, actually, it came out being the exact even more than an opposite. It was like a very um, um, a very calm race without many big situations. Yes, we had some drivers that had problems or spins and touches, but everything was stuff that could be fixed just by reverse the car slightly and then get back on track. So
Yeah.
it was unexpected. It was very unexpected.
Yeah, well, when you have no gravel traps at all, that's what you can get.
Yeah.
But but
Yeah, but I have to say that the racing was very well clean,
no,
kinda. It was
no,
hard racing.
yeah,
No,
really
yes, it
hard.
was hard racing, and we have yes all those contexts, but it was the that hard that is in the at the correct limit where you can like touch and have someone spin, but without retiring always a car after a fight. So
Yeah,
I believe that's actually a very an incredibly good situation driving standard wise for the whole series, and it highlights how even the rookies are in a extremely professional environment and in an extremely professional preparation.
Yeah, and especially it resulted in how well, apart if we didn't have that safety car at the end, there was like still battles, and still we're not we don't know who's gonna finish where. So yeah, that's the beauty of GT racing.
Yeah, it was I mean, it was actually incredible. Even I believe that in besides some situations, the cleanest kind of GT racing is the one that you can find at the highest level of sim racing usually, because you can't risk to have that kind of a weird contact where the simulator lags or doesn't calculate the contact well, and so give you like a huge suspension damage. And so we had a very similar situation also here, with a bit more of daring and of contacts, of course, but still, we saw with almost 60 cars, we had a situation where the biggest amount of retirements was due to mechanical issues as reliability issues, not as crashing results.
Well, I think we only had the two cars that crash at the start only retire
Exactly.
for a crash, and all of the others had mechanical issues. So
yeah, the Boots and VDS and the McLaren were the only two cars that actually had a bad situation crash wise. So, and beside that, it was, I have to say, it was something that should be shown in this kind of racing is what you have to show in karting schools and racing schools to show drivers how you race.
yeah, especially the ELMS here that we are currently watching. So
yeah, in the LMP3 class, I would say, especially you would need to.
I mean,
some lessons.
They are how can I say it? They're kind of, these LMP3s, as I've seen at the moment, they're kind of well behaved, and the ones that are going off are the GT3s. So
yeah, it feels like they switched cars, like the LMP3 and GT3 drivers decided, okay, for this race, let's try to drive each other's cars. I have to say the dentists are racing quite well, but of course is ironical, since we know personally people that race in LMP3 and are not dentists. So yeah, it's very nice to see how how actually everywhere the level is getting higher and higher. And I can tell the same for like karting, since there was today the European Championship is happening in La Conca, and I could see any awesome battle between three drivers. Or also just minutes ago, the second race of the GT3 Revival series ended, and I have to say, you have some very interesting driving, and yes, you have drivers that take risks, but they are relatively well calculated. So,
well, I mean, in the GT Revival series, if you crash one of those cars, it's like I wouldn't want to crash one of those cars.
Me neither, but personally, I still believe that it is racing. They are drivers that are racing. There is even Pla and other drivers that already raced in GT4 and GT3. So there is still the thing that, yes, this is almost a showcase racing series, but still you want to win, and so you push and you fight, and you take risks that can happen end up not in the best way possible.
Yeah, with some beautiful and nostalgic cars. But
Absolutely.
anywho, let's go forward and talk about Imola next week.
Yeah, we are having finally WEC will start.
I am excited and a little bit
I am
sad.
very excited too.
But I'm mostly excited. I'm sad because, well, Porsche is not gonna be in LMH, fortunately. But we are getting Genesis. We are getting a new Toyota, which for both I can't wait. They overbought the shit out of them, but
once again, the Toyota BOP.
Toyota BOP for Ferrari, Genesis, and Toyota. Really great. But yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay. The season coming up is looking very interesting. We have lots of faces, lots of different faces, new faces, as you said, newcomers that are Genesis. Like there is so much to look around. It will be a very, very interesting start of the season. Also, I believe that everyone is quite hyped up since we had to wait even more than expected because of what happened with the war, and then with the participation of the Qatar race. Yep. So yeah, it will. I believe that everyone is more than ready and is more than is more than excited to start this season in the WEC. So yeah, we are. I believe that some drivers and teams are even more excited than us fans, because like you want to see the work that he did in the winter, what it brought home, and where are you between all those cars. So yeah, and also I can't wait to see Garage 59 finally starting and performing in WC.
Yeah, and they're basically bringing I think half of the 59 and half of the 58 to.
Yeah, you take the best of the best in the end. That's if you have the chance, you have to use it. And also, they are bringing in an incredible bronze driver because there is Antaresao coming, as we already said, I believe in the first episode. That's, as I said then, I will say it even now. I really like the guy. I had last year the chance to speak with him in Monza. He's a great guy. He's a great person. But also he showed at Monza at that time. He's a great driver. He showed it yesterday, winning the bronze class. He's a great driver, and I'm very excited to see how he will perform in the McLaren in the LMGT3 class with everyone else.
Yeah, winning in the bronze together with Riccardo, one of his teammates in WC as well. Exactly. Unfortunately, the gold/platinum driver was not the one they're gonna be competing with, I think. Yeah. Wait, who's the gold in that car?
He is Loic Hartog.
Okay. No, I mean in WC.
Oh, in WEC, let me check right
if now. I'm not mistaken, it's not. I think it's Brenning, no?
I know Brenning is not. Is Marvin Kirchhofer, He
Oh,
was actually a platinum driver. No, I would like to remember you that Thomas Flaming Antaresau is racing in the McLaren, not in the Porsche.
also, so then who was the other owl in the Porsche?
There is a similar name. It's Ancient Gwen. I mean,
Oh,
there's an A and a U, but no. Antaresau is very interesting because there is racing in Porsche in GT World Challenge with Rotronic. Then
oh.
also even more interesting, they brought the 97 as a Porsche and the 96 as the Temerario, the Lamborghini. And in WEC, I believe to actually race in WEC, he is racing in the McLaren in the number 10 with Thomas Fleming and Marvin Kirchhofer. So yeah, it's quite a busy schedule for him.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see the Genesis on track. Unfortunately, the WC Bop is always not the best. So one car tends to dominate throughout the season, and all of the other kinda. And I think
Yeah,
I think
usually.
with the rumors of Alpine wanting to leave, they're probably going to favor them with Peugeot as well, maybe over all of the other cars. And I think Ferrari are going to get a really hefty bop after last season and how they dominated the first 3 quarters, I would say, not even half, 3 quarters.
Yeah, I believe that if we look at the past, we saw how almost every time the who came second were the ones that were a bit more helped with the BOP. And since we do not have a Porsche, any Porsche in the hypercar class, we might see actually the Cadillac to fight a lot. This because they showed how strong of a crew and of a team they are. Since actually looking, if we look back at the standings, in the top 5, they are, I believe, if you give me 1 second just to go around everyone, the Cadillac with Alex Lee, Norman Nato, and Will Stevens, who are exactly, I will tell you right now, the number 12 Cadillac, did score in every race at least a point. They won in Sao Paulo, but then they always got into the points and into the top 10 in every race. So they actually, I believe that they do also kind of deserve a bit of a more favorable POP. And as you said, I believe that also, yes, Peugeot and especially Alpine will receive a bit of a help in order to
let them keep staying in the
to convince them into staying into the WEC, because what I really believe is that what they are trying in the what they are trying to do in the WEC is to create a situation where they could find themselves similar to the Group C period, and so make a championship with only prototype cars. Have so many prototype cars that you don't need even anymore the GT3 cars. Maybe they could be like sort of a support series, like the World GT3 Championship, something like that. But yeah, I believe that the objective is, with all the constructors that are coming in, and with all the possibilities that they have, is to give themselves a chance into being another top tier prototype championship with only prototypes, and not also sort of street derived cars.
Yeah, which if you put it that way, for me, the WC is probably my favorite racing series. It's up there. So if they would bring a only prototype series, I probably cannot get myself to watch it, because what I fell in love with WC is the multi-class factor, and I loved it even more when there was also the like GTE and GTE AM split, which is quite some years that we don't have it anymore. So yeah, if they would only do a prototype only championship, I probably wouldn't watch it anymore, as I think a lot of people who watch WC would. So for me, it's that if
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I believe that we have a situation where how much. Give me a second. Okay, I believe that we have a situation that with the amount of how much they are known as a series and everything, they could even try to do a to bring sort of a old IMSA type of championship, or European Le Mans Series style of championships. So we have the main prototypes with the hypercars, LMP2s, GTEs, and LMGT3s as a sort of an AM class. Though, yeah, I believe the problems would be two mainly, which would be the costs to move so many cars, and the fact also to actually host that many cars into a racing series that is probably is everything but easy. So yeah, it is a possibility. It would be awesome to have it, but
And
I believe that it's quite difficult.
And like for the manufacturer to homologate, develop, and upgrade the GTEs. The fact that they removed GTEs it's because they were going into the similar things that LMP1s were going into, so the development costs were rising and rising and rising, and it was going to be too much cost effective. Is that the term that can be used?
It was not any more cost effective.
Yeah, it was not anymore.
It was way too expensive. When they tried to reduce that by bringing in the situation with the only GTE AM class in the last year of the GTEs, but it was futile, and just they. It remained too much. It still remained too much to handle money-wise. So yeah, that's mainly why the whole situation went sideways. And I believe that the GT3 platform is way better because you have way more manufacturers. You need less, less. Research and development for certain areas, and so for you can make similar performing cars, but with a with a much lower budget, which is what the whole FIA and the motorsport scene is looking for.
Yeah, and also let's remember that Toyota are coming in next year to replace the Lexus. There's a new AMG GT3 being developed at the moment.
That if I may speak for myself, they look like they are literally the same car, just with a slightly different front bumper. Probably they're not. I believe that they will handle very differently, but they are, at least for now, the camo test cars do look very similar, both in the displacement and also in the aesthetics and in the exterior design of the cars.
Yeah, and also Corvette came back after the whole colorway thing, years after after not developing a GT3 anymore. So in GT3 is the way to go for now.
It is indeed.
Hopefully they don't become a repeat of GTE again, because practically there's much less road stuff in the cars that they are becoming prototypes as well.
Yeah.
Rather than like I hope how GT4s are, which are road.
GT4s are more like supercars with a slight bit of aerodynamics. And actually, the interesting fact is that power-wise, they are actually limited, because especially on a straight line and on tracks like Monza or Paul Ricard or Spa, they would match, if not in setting in the right conditions, they could even overtake in performance the
GT3s.
The GT3s, exactly.
Yeah.
They are very well made cars, I have to say.
Yeah, I think it's becoming like manufacturers are developing prototypes of racing cars and then applying the thing that they made to a lower scale in their road cars.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing of racing and of military technology. You test what you want to test at the extreme level on a racing car, or per se on a military plane, and then the technology you develop it in a situation until a point where it is extremely reliable and reusable. And at that point, when everyone can have it on their vehicle without being like, oh, every 12 hours of use I have to do this check and everything, they can be like used for years, months or years without really thinking about it. So that's the whole concept, basically.
So ELMS just finished right now as we're recording. First Forstainer Pani won, and AP Algarve Pro Racing won in LMP2 Pro Am. I'm waiting for the results of LMP3, which should actually I have. Yeah, no, I don't have it. Oh.
Nice.
I thought I would have it in the timings. I think Rinaldi should live timing.
Yeah. It's not appearing to me. I have it right now, but
it's not appearing anymore.
My part of the website has been like very bad for the whole situation. I'll be honest. I'm not happy about it. They have to fix it, but yeah. Also, I do not have the live times anymore.
So yeah, Algarve won with Malte Jakobsen, Enzo Trulli, and I haven't seen the third one.
I also couldn't see that.
And
God damn.
for a good thing, the number 30 in Pro Am, the Kane Racing team, came second with Dorian Pon. And yeah, Rinaldi won in LMP3.
P3.
And Porsche number 75 Proton won in GT3 with a late.
And I can already tell you, that I believe, looking at the race, that the 73 has been the most dominant car of the whole race. Like, they put themselves in P1, and then they never left it. They had lots of cars trying the attack, especially the Qatarian car, but I mean,
well, to be honest,
what a race they had.
Well, to be honest, the Mercedes, the Iron Lynx Mercedes were ahead in P3 by quite a few margin. So
yeah, but then the performance just fell off.
Yeah, in the last part, but mostly because it was Richard Leeds in the car against a silver driver in the Mercedes. So I think that kind of went off. I'm really gutted.
Yeah, I mean, it was as you say, the fight was mainly between the Team Qatar and Iron Lynx
Proton.
and the Proton cars. Yeah,
I'm really gutted for the 51, where they put Alessio Rovera in it for the first hour of the race. Getting past every bronze driver in the first half an hour, and then driving off once to P1. But then once the driver change came around, and then a late penalty, not a drive-through penalty for the car, unfortunately they couldn't recover, and they couldn't convert the strategy of putting the fastest guy first into the win, fortunately.
Yeah, actually it was funny and at the same time quite weird. Also, how IDEXport handled their cars, because I mean, I understand racing drivers being racing drivers, especially in the first laps, but how the whole race punting each other and touching and fighting quite hard. It was a very weird situation for the French team, especially because of how professional they are. They have to be, since also they are what is Magma Racing, that is handling the Genesis in the WEC. So it was very weird, because they have two cars with two crews that have the possibility to fight for wins and for sure for this championship, as well as AO Racing. But they really tried everything not to end up in a good situation.
Yeah, and the race finish came at a really good time, since just about to start raining on the truck. So
yeah,
they were quite lucky. We could have had quite a lot of mix-up with the changing conditions.
Yeah, it was actually a very interesting race. Yeah, I mean, I believe that that Panis probably went more on a conservative side in the type of racing in the first part, and then just gave it all and dominated against United. That yes, stayed close, but not that much.
Yeah, also because United were kind of leading the first half of the race, then strategy panning out. We saw the results that it wasn't quite favorable for them. Also, a huge shout out to Dorian Pan. She did an amazing job in the car, and I thought that Duquesne were easily going to win this, but
Yes, I
apparently
also thought that.
Algarve was just came in clutch and was able to pull away from the team.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, and yes, I have to agree totally with you. I believe that Algarve Pro Racing as well as Duquesne are two of the top of the three teams that I believe will fight for the championship this year in the Pro-Am class, together with AO Racing.
Yeah, which unfortunately
And
got punted by the EDEC squad.
Yeah, it was a very sad situation. And still, I believe that Duquesne has to manage slightly better their race pace, since it's not the first time, especially here in Barcelona. Also, last year they had the overall pole position with Franco Simonazzi, and through the race they just came down and couldn't have that pace. So I believe that they have to concentrate slightly more on their race pace to achieve what I know that they can achieve. Since I also want to see them in Le Mans. I believe they have they have all the cars in their hand to get there.
When the cutoff for Le Mans finishes for the LMP2 entries, do you know that?
Wait, was sorry?
When the cutoff for Le Mans finishes for the LMP2's entry.
It is using okay. So the Le Mans Invitational for the LMP2 is until the end of the Asian Le Mans series of the same year of the Le Mans 24-hour. So like the last cars entering were for the 2026 Le Mans 24-hour were the cars of the
Dubai?
Abu yes, Dhabi. Exactly. No, the ones that won the Asian Le Mans series that just ended, and by that I mean the LMP2. I believe there is Pro and Pro-Am there too, and the LMP3 class. Are the cars that will go to Le Mans with the LMP2s. They are the last ones. Now we restart with the winners of the other categories of the other championships to try to get to Le Mans once again for next season, though.
Okay, perfect. So, do we already know who will be joining Le Mans from the?
We should. Let me see if I can find that out. 6 hours. Let's go. Okay, yes, we do have, because we have we have ELMS, IMSA, and ALMS. We have the, I believe is the top 5 of each championship, so but still we have we have all we have so from AL I will give you what I have with the racing numbers. We have DKR Racing, CrowdStrike Racing by APR. So Algarve Pro Racing.
Yeah.
We have Proton Competition, and TDS Racing from IMSA. We have United Autosport with 2 cars, Nielsen Racing, Algarve Pro Racing as Algarve Pro Racing, Vector Sport. We have 1 car by Edec Sport. We have Panis Racing, of course. Duquesne actually will race with Anne Lauer, Dorian Penn, and Richard Verschoor.
That's really good to hear because of the performance they've done during this race.
We have CLX Motorsport, 2 cars of inter-Europol competition, and 43 is already known. That we have Ton Dillman, Jakub, give me a second, Jakub Simenchowski, and Nick Yellowly. And the 343, where we know there is Bijoy Garg, but we do not know the other 2 drivers. And I believe, because of how well they're racing, we might find a driver, another driver of the other inter-Europe of the 34 in ELMS. And maybe we could find actually a driver that is been growing it's been growing a lot in the last months since Asian Le Mans series that was in the crew that came second in the Asian Le Mans series in the LMP3 class, who is Henry Kubides, that showed a very good increase in pace. And then last cars, we have another Proton competition, are the Duman Limited, so the team by Dumas, AO by TF as always, AF Corse, and 2 United Autosport cars. So there should be
lots of cars, and basically the same cars as per usual, to be honest.
We have 19 cars for Le Mans this year.
I mean, the same entries as per usual.
Yeah. Very similar, of course. Yes. Yes, it will be very interesting because we have 18 hypercars, 19 LMP2 cars, and 25 LMG3s. So it is a very, very interesting situation.
Okay, so having said that, let's quickly wrap this up because I have to go apparently. So let's talk about your favorite series, NASCAR, and then two things about V8 Supercars, and we're done.
Okay, NASCAR Cup Series. I can't be more than happy with a certain Chase Elliott win at the Cookout the 29th of March. Finally, I am really big supporter of the guy. I believe he's he showed already that he's a very good driver. He was always there to try to win. He was not that lucky since he got thrown off races, especially in Phoenix, and crashed in Daytona while in the last lap with that last lap chaos. But still, we have an incredible win in Martinsville, which is awesome, together with a second place in Las Vegas that we will must not be forgotten. And then we had the the qualifying. Martinsville was the cookout. And today we will have at 9 p.m. Bristol. And yes, Ryan Blaney starting from the pole position is interesting. And I have to say, a driver that's impressed me in the qualifying was Rainer Herbst. that I did not expect him to be that high, and at the same time, Denny Hamlin so low, just 11th, was a very, very weird qualifying situation. And and at the same time, we have once again Tyler Reddick starting in second, and he is being such. He's just. I believe he's the meant to be this season. At least in this first part of the season, he's having an incredible run with the points. He has, I think, almost 100 points of advantage over the second driver. So I think it's 80 points. So he is. He is in an awesome situation. He has to keep the momentum going, at least until until the Glen or Charlotte, just to more calm and ready for the playoffs and the final chase of the final 10 races.
Well, I've seen a little bit of Martinsville, and I would say, even though Chase had it won, I think who was there?
Are you saying Chase Elliott didn't deserve the win?
It's not that he didn't deserve it. It was a very unlucky. It was a very unlucky win for I don't remember who won the first two stages.
Matteo, you are muted.
Oh, sorry. I was saying it was. I didn't say it was. It was a not deserved win. It was very unlucky for who won the first two stages, that he led the whole race and couldn't convert the win in the end. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so going for the V8 Supercars. Race 8 and 9, we have the throwback of the 888 versus 888 Motorsport versus I think not Vanqueros, but something like that. It's basically Dave Brown and Brock Feeney versus Ryan Wood and Charles Mustard, and it's finally Toyota are getting the car as where they should be, and getting the first win on race 9 with pole position as well by the Kiwi in Kiwiland in New Zealand. So I'm really happy for how they've been developing the car, developing the setup, and what a performance by the two main Toyota drivers, I would say, versus the Red Bull cars. There was a little bit of door banging with Brown and Chas Mostert in race 8. They're totally feeling like the rivalry is back, and they're pushing each other to the limits. Even though that rivalry is back, Kostecki has been an amazing driver, and I think is the driver to beat this season. Not the Red Bulls, not the Toyotas. I think he is the guy to beat. And
what I can say.
And unfortunately, on the race, fortunately on the race to the championship, he's alone. He doesn't have like a teammate like Charles Mustard had last year to punch somebody off at Adelaide. So pretty much go ahead with your.
It will be a tough race for him. Also because what I believe is that if Toyota can keep the momentum that they had for the start of the season, they could get more and more competitive, and I believe we might see more wins, more and more wins by them, because what it feels really like is that they just needed to understand the car slightly more, and at this point they can try to start and push it hard, and yeah, I believe that's why we had to wait 9 races to get to the first win of the season for them. And I believe that now that they could they have an idea on which direction to go for, like, setups and the philosophy of how to keep the car. They can they can try to start to push quite a lot with Golding and Wood, and yeah, they are in a very good situation, I have to say.
Yeah. And with that, unfortunately, I am being rushed, so I have to go. It's been like 30 minutes since I've been rushed to end everything and go. So unfortunately, we have to cut the podcast short, as much as I would have liked to keep on going. And we'll see you next time with more racing, more conversations about what will happen in the next weeks. So with that said, bye.
Yeah.